They told you success was about luck. A lie. They told you success was about talent. A lie. They told you success was about being in the right place at the right time. Another lie. The truth is so harsh that most people don't even want to hear it. Success demands a price, and that price is sacrifice. But sacrifice of what? Your weekends, your comfort, your sleep, the people who understood you when you were small, those nights when others were at parties and you were working on your dreams. Edison paid the price by failing thousands of times. Lincoln paid the price by watching his heart break. Your heroes? They paid when no one was watching. And now there's only one question. Will you pay? Because the world won't ask if you're ready. The world will only see if you paid the price or not. Most people want the reward, but without the cost. They want the harvest, but without the planting. They want the victory, but without the struggle. And that's why they stay average. You are different. Or at least, you say you're different. So prove it. Sacrifice what others won't. Endure what others can't. Become what others cannot. Because success has already named its price. Now only one question remains. Will you pay? Success demands sacrifice. Are you willing to pay? They told you success was about talent. That was a lie. They told you it was about luck, timing, connections, or where you were born. Another lie. Success has always demanded the same currency from every generation. Not money, not intelligence, not privilege. It demands sacrifice. And the question that has haunted history, broken millions, and crowned a few is not whether success is possible. The question is this: are you willing to pay the price? Because sacrifice is not poetic, it is not romantic, it is not a quote on a wall. Sacrifice is early mornings when the world is asleep. It is discipline when motivation is gone. It is choosing discomfort so often that comfort forgets your name. Every great achievement you admire was paid for in private pain. Edison paid with ridicule, exhaustion, and failure repeated enough to break an average mind. Lincoln paid with loss, heartbreak, and a nation tearing itself apart. Carnegie paid with years of ruthless focus, while others called distraction balance. They were not special, they were committed, and commitment always demands something in return. You don't drift into greatness, you bleed into it. The world will not tell you this because the truth is inconvenient. The truth is expensive. The truth requires you to give up who you are now to earn the right to become who you say you want to be. Look around. Most people want the reward, but without the cost. They want the harvest, but without the season of planting. They want the victory, but without the years of silence. That is why most people stay average. Not because they are incapable, but because they are unwilling. Unwilling to sacrifice comfort, unwilling to sacrifice approval, unwilling to trade short-term pleasure for long-term power. Success does not respond to wishful thinking, it responds to obsession. Napoleon Hill understood this. Desire backed by faith and persistence, not casual wanting, not polite wishing, a burning, relentless hunger that reorganizes your entire life. When you truly decide, sacrifice stops feeling like loss, it starts feeling like alignment. You stop asking, "What am I giving up?" and you start asking, "What am I building?" But make no mistake, the cost is real. You will sacrifice weekends. You will sacrifice instant gratification. You will sacrifice being understood by people who have never demanded more from themselves. You will outgrow rooms. You will disappoint people who benefited from your smallness. You will be called extreme, obsessed, unrealistic. Good. That is the sound of separation. Every new level creates distance from who you were, from those who stayed comfortable, from those who chose easy explanations over hard effort. This is where most people turn back, not because the work is too hard, but because the silence is too loud. Silence exposes you, it removes excuses, it strips away noise, it leaves you alone with the truth of your discipline. And discipline is the real sacrifice. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now, every day, without applause. When motivation disappears, when progress is invisible, when results lag behind effort, this is the tax success collects. And it is non-negotiable. You can pay it now with effort and intention, or you can pay it later with regret. Regret costs more because regret compounds. Years pass, opportunities decay, confidence erodes, and the story you tell yourself becomes more important than the truth. The hardest sacrifice is not time, it is identity. You must sacrifice the version of you that seeks validation, the version that waits to feel ready, the version that wants guarantees before action. Success has never offered guarantees, only opportunity. And opportunity only responds to action. Belief is not optimism. Belief is decision. A decision to persist regardless of outcome, to adapt regardless of obstacles, to move regardless of doubt. Sacrifice is the bridge between intention and reality. Without it, dreams stay fantasies. With it, ordinary people rewrite history. Success does not demand that you suffer forever. It demands that you suffer strategically. Temporary discomfort for permanent capability. Temporary restraint for lasting freedom. Temporary sacrifice for generational impact. Most people never lose. They simply never commit enough to win. They flirt with discipline. They sample consistency. They sacrifice only when it is convenient. That is not sacrifice. That is negotiation. And success does not negotiate. Success demands proof. Proof that you can work without applause. Proof that you can endure without reassurance. Proof that you can stay loyal to a vision that has not yet rewarded you. You are either paying the price forward or paying interest on procrastination. And interest is brutal. This is the separation between those who tried and those who became, between those who wanted and those who paid. Success has already named its price. The only question left is this: will you pay? Success does not break people at the beginning. It breaks them after they have already proven they are capable. When the excuses are gone, when the knowledge is there, when the opportunity is real, that is when pressure becomes personal. At this level, sacrifice is no longer about effort, it is endurance. Endurance when results slow down, endurance when growth becomes boring, endurance when no one is clapping anymore. This is where most people secretly quit. Not loudly, not dramatically. They quit by lowering standards. They quit by skipping days. They quit by telling themselves they deserve a break. And comfort welcomes them back with open arms. But understand this: comfort always charges interest. One missed day becomes a habit. One habit becomes an identity. And identity shapes destiny. This is why success demands ruthless consistency. Not perfect days, but honest days. Days where you show up tired. Days where you work without confidence. Days where you move even when belief feels thin. Because belief is built by action, not the other way around. Every disciplined day deposits evidence into your mind. Evidence that you can be trusted. Evidence that you finish what you start. And self-trust is a weapon. Once you trust yourself, hesitation dies. Once hesitation dies, momentum is born. Momentum does not care about mood. It feeds on repetition. This is where sacrifice becomes invisible. People look at your results and call it talent. They call it luck. They call it timing. They never see the nights you chose discipline over distraction. They never see the mornings you chose purpose over sleep. And that's the deal. Success is built in private, but judged in public. If you are not willing to sacrifice privately, you will always live publicly confused. Clarity is earned. It is earned by doing hard things long enough that confusion has no place to hide. This is the phase where patience becomes power. You stop rushing, you stop forcing outcomes, you simply execute. Because now you understand something critical. Time works for the disciplined. Time works against the distracted. While others are looking for shortcuts, you are building capacity. Capacity to handle pressure, capacity to carry responsibility.